Hey, good morning, Faith Christian Fellowship. It is a beautiful November morning, a Friday morning, November 13th. I'm coming to you. It's cool, but it's beautiful, and so I love it. And I thought it would be great to come outside and just kind of shoot this video that is probably pretty important for you to have. You're either watching it on Facebook, or we are also making it available on our normal YouTube channel, our church YouTube channel. So it is a Friday morning. Last night, on Thursday, our board met. Some of you knew that, many of you knew that, and we invited you to be in prayer for our board as we met last night, with the idea that a big part of our conversation last night would be about the changes with regard to the coronavirus and how it's impacting our community, how it will impact us as a church. Will it impact us? What are we going to do in response to the surge? I must admit that this is real, obviously. It's a real issue that we are facing as a community, as a state, the state of Maryland, as a country. It's a very real thing, and we recognize that. I'd have to say that during the first wave, if we call it that, in the spring and in the summer, if I knew anyone who was sick from the virus, it was at a distance. I maybe only knew a name, or I knew a very distant connection to someone who had contracted the coronavirus. That isn't the case anymore. I just mentioned our board meeting. Well, we met on Zoom last night. All of us, the 7 of us on the board, we met together on Zoom because one of our board members has tested positive for the virus. And so we felt like that would be the easiest way to get us all together. I know several others in a very close proximity to me who have tested positive for the virus. And so it's a real thing. We know that it is a real thing, and we are certainly concerned with the rest of you that we do things right in response to that reality. This wave of the virus may be very much more prevalent than it was up to this point, and so we feel like it is appropriate for us to respond to that. So it's Friday, November 13th, and I want to give you our plan going forward, what we're going to do, at least for the very near future. Coming up on Sunday, November 15th, we are going to meet as a church. That is our plan. We're going to have both of our gatherings, our 9:15 and our 10:45 gathering. But here's where things begin to change right off the bat. We are not going to provide any other ministries for this coming Sunday. We're not going to have a Faith Kids program. We're not going to have our Switchback students meet. Nothing else but the worship gatherings. So in a sense, you could call them sort of by default, they are going to be family worship gatherings. We are just going to meet in the auditorium. The early gathering or the later one, both, are just going to be family style. The building is really the size of the auditorium, the expansiveness of the building is really, we're just going to dedicate it to one thing at a time. And we feel like for Sunday morning, the dedication of the building is going to be for our worship gathering. We're not going to have all of the traffic in and out of the hallways down the education wing. We have class teachers that may or may not have been exposed this week to the virus, or the children. We certainly want to protect our children, our students, all of that. And we just feel like the only real safe space, to the extent that we can provide a safe space, and we know it's all just really in the Lord's hands, but is the larger building itself. And so we're going to dedicate one thing at a time in the main building. So for this coming Sunday, it's going to be a 9:15 gathering and a 10:45 gathering, and that's all. The words are strongly advised to wear masks, and so we are saying as a church, just if you would come, we would encourage you to wear a mask. Just to do that for each other, to provide that extra measure of safety, is to wear a mask. If you come to either gathering, that's the strong advisement, is to go ahead. I'll be wearing a mask when I'm interacting with you up close. I'm going to be wearing a mask as well. So that's our recommendation, is just to plan to do that. If for any reason that you don't feel comfortable coming because of the virus, or if there are other reasons why you can't join us in person, with children or whatever that dynamic might be, then we would also want you to know that we're going to continue to provide our live stream at 10:45, just the 10:45 worship gathering. So that is also an option for the next several weeks. We've continued to provide that, but I just want to remind you that that's always available to you. So that's Sunday. Nothing other than the worship gatherings themselves. We're actually going to not provide coffee and other things through the Faith Cafe. That too will pause. Our Faith Kids, our Switchback, all of that will pause for a period of time. And we are just going to have our live gathering and our online option at 10:45. Okay? The rest of the week, this is what we'd like to do. Because the main building is somewhat of a reasonable space that can provide the distance that we need, we are going to have our midweek ministries kind of take a night or a morning of the week and have full access to the building, as much of the space that is needed. Our students on one or two occasions through the week are going to meet in the building, in the main building. The barn is not going to be where they gather, but rather in the main building. We're going to continue to have Kids Life on Wednesday. And just allow, because we do feel while the virus is serious and while the danger is a reality, so is our disconnectedness is a health issue. I believe that very much within me, is that to not meet, it has its own health risks. And so we are going to give to the weekly ministries full access to the building and exclusively to those ministries on given nights. Our students are not going to meet on Wednesday nights because our Kids Life ministry will have access to the main building on Wednesday night. Our students will be meeting on other nights of the week. Our prayer ministry will still happen on Tuesday night. Our worship team is still going to practice on Thursday night. Our Young at Heart are still going to be welcome to use the auditorium, which is where they've been the last several months, to be in the auditorium where there is plenty of space, where they can wear masks, where there's also an online option, which we provide for our Young at Heart. So all of those things are going to continue with little modifications. The goal is, again, just very simply, to provide one time at least during the week where each of our ministries can have access to the main building so they can continue to meet in some form. Modified, yes, but still getting together. Okay? And this will probably go for most likely the remainder of the month, for the remainder of November. We've got Thanksgiving kind of stuck right in between all of this. We don't know what that's going to look like with people seeing family, seeing extended family, and then coming back. And so we're going to give that a little bit of space by even going through Sunday, November 29th under this plan. And then we will reevaluate for the month of December and what that will look like. So I just want to give you that heads up. We encourage masks. We encourage, if you are sick or have been exposed to somebody who is sick, please don't come around the building. Don't be a part of what we're doing in person, but rather just take advantage of our resources that are online. Use good judgment. Be a part of this with us as we navigate the tough issues that this has presented. But there is absolutely no reason why we can't continue to build the community that is Faith Christian Fellowship and care for one another. Okay? So if you have any questions, you'll be hearing from ministry leaders. If you're if you have children, you'll be hearing from Amelia. If you have students, you'll be hearing from Lewis. If you're part of the Young at Heart, you'll be getting correspondence through us about that as well. So that's where we are. We love you, and we are praying that God would give us a season of just watching His hand guide us through kind of the interesting journey that has been 2020. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. If you can join us at 9:15 or at 10:45, or if it will be online, that'll be great as well. God bless you, and we'll look forward to seeing you.